Hello everybody, welcome to Pixel Talk. I am Corbin Stuckey, and I am here to give you my review on the Goosebumps movie. The Goosebumps movie follows this kid named Zach where he moves into this new town, and he happens to move next to the house of R.L. Stine. And while living there, he meets this girl, Hannah, who is R.L. Stine's daughter, and one night after he hears a scream next door, he breaks into R.L. Stine's house with a friend to make sure she is safe and okay. But in the process, he releases all these monsters from these old manuscripts of the Goosebumps series from R.L. Stine, thus allowing us to witness all of R.L. Stine's creations in the real world. Okay, so this movie, I think, was a fantastic family film. It's in the middle of a family film and a spooky film. I don't want to say that this is a scary film, although there were some times where, I jumped a little bit, but it's not a scary film whatsoever. It's more of a spooky film. It's just got that spooky Halloween monster theme that you can definitely relate to films such as The Monster Squad. I actually watched the original Goosebumps series when I was a kid, and at the time, those episodes really creeped me out. But at an older age, I went back and watched them, and they're not that scary, honestly. They're just really spooky shows. So when I heard that they were making this film into more of this adventure type film, I was pretty accepting of it because Goosebumps isn't that scary. It's not like, oh my god, this is like the most terrifying stuff ever. No, it's just spooky themed. But what this movie does that the series sometimes fails to do is actually be likable sometimes. Don't get me wrong, there are actually some really good episodes of Goosebumps, like The Haunted Mask, but there are really, really, really corny episodes. Very corny. And you can see some of that corny humor in this movie too, but it's not the corniest of the Goosebumps series. It's the best type of humor in this film. And a lot of that humor can be seen from Jack Black, which I was very surprised that Jack Black was going to be playing R.L. Stine in this film. He did an amazing job. He was actually the highlight of the film. He's almost like this mad scientist persona of R.L. Stine, where he creates these monsters and he tries to hide them and he tries to hide from society because of his ability to make these monsters come to life. And there's also the element of him thinking very highly of himself. Like, there's actually a scene in the movie where like one of the kids actually makes a reference that he likes Stephen King, and he's like, let me tell you about Stephen King. He didn't sell 400 million copies worldwide or something like that. Like, it's very, very funny humor, and he thinks very highly of himself in this film. And honestly, I gotta say, this is the best Jack Black film I have seen in a while. If you're not a fan of Goosebumps and you're just wanting to see, just a regular film this week, go see this film for Jack Black. And honestly, I don't really think you have to be a fan of Goosebumps, as long as you know kind of the story within this film, like, okay, this guy is a writer, he's written spooky kids books in the past, and they're coming to life, then you can enjoy this film. But if you are a Goosebumps fan, you'll definitely appreciate a lot of the elements in this film. You have so many characters that are from the series that are in this movie. The Abominable Snowman, Slappy the Dummy, which, by the way, is the actual antagonist of this film. He was great. Almost a little similar to the Joker, but I got past that. He was a great antagonist. I understood why he was doing the things he was doing, because he was stuck in his book and he wanted to get out, so that was very believable to me. And just other stuff too, like the zombies and the gnomes, and it was just all like, it had that nostalgia of Goosebumps in there, and I really appreciated that. Effects-wise, the movie was really good, effects-wise. However, there were some parts in the film where I was like, okay, the effects are kinda odd, because there's obviously a lot of CGI in this film. Kind of the problems I had with the effects in this film have to do with the humanoid-like monsters, like the Abominable Snowman and the Wolfman. They weren't as bad as that thing from the Van Helsing movie, because that does not hold up. That does not look good today. But I don't know. I feel as though they could have done a better job. I mean, they weren't bad, but, it was still kind of questionable CGI. But a lot of the monsters in this movie, which were almost in practical use, like the gnomes and the zombies, oh yeah, those were well done. A lot of the effects are really good in this film. It was just those two I kinda, disliked just a little bit. I didn't really dislike it. It was just kinda odd. I mean, honestly, I'm not really a judge of CGI. I enjoyed the film, but I was kind of a little questioning, but like, it's a kid's movie. It's Goosebumps. Like, it's a werewolf and the Abominable Snowman. Of course they're gonna have to use CGI. And that is something that you have to consider while going into this film. this is a kids movie, guys. This is a family kids movie. Adults are going to enjoy it. Like, this is a movie that adults can enjoy, but, you know, the main audience is for kids or, you know, teenagers. A lot of the humor, especially from the sidekick in the film, he has his high moments, he has his low moments, but it's his reactions from the monsters around him that really make him a likable character. And like I said, this is for kids, but adults can enjoy this too. I was actually very surprised in how the way this was filmed. Sometimes when they were in the middle of a spooky area, like when they were going into the woods, it had that dark texture on the screen as if it was like one of the last Harry Potter films or Twilight. Like, I know I'm using Twilight as an example, but you know what I mean? Like, it's that dark texture, that dark tone that you see on the screen, that, I guess, that dark filter. And I wasn't really expecting that, especially from a kid's movie. Like, it was really well done the way it was filmed, and the CGI added on to that was very well done too. So yeah, guys, as a kid's movie, as like a family film, this is a really, really good film. I mean, the film does have its problems, but it's really well done. A really good way that I would describe this film, it's like Cabin in the Woods for a younger audience. Now, I am not going to spoil Cabin in the Woods, but if you have seen Cabin in the Woods, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you haven't seen Cabin in the Woods, go see that because it's a really good film. And how the film left off, not going into spoilers, they are making a sequel, which I am very excited for. I don't know how they would make a sequel because, you know, they use all the monsters from Goosebumps, you know, unless, like, you know, they left some monsters out. Let me know in the comments below. Did they leave any monsters out that you wanted them to make in this film? I have no idea. I think they got a lot of the main monsters, but yeah, comment down below what monsters you would like to see in the Goosebumps sequel. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for checking out my review of Goosebumps, the movie. Comment down below what you thought of this movie. If you've seen it yet, like the video, share it, and please subscribe to Pixel Talk for more movie reviews, trailer reactions, and gaming content. Also, follow my Facebook and my Twitter. The links are down below. Thank you guys so much. I am Corbin Stuckey, and this is Pixel Talk.